What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force, and in this video we're going to talk about the arena meta, and specifically we're going to talk about arena defense. Is there anything that holds on defense? Yes, we found something that holds on defense. It has been working for quite a decent amount of time. I started this new strategy last week, and since then I went from requiring to do 4 to 5 attacks per day in just requiring 1 or 2 attacks. So definitely is something that is working out, and even that the team is not unbeatable, it's definitely way better than anything we have before. And this is going to be for everyone that has Apocalypse. Baby Apocalypse, Big Apocalypse. We are not going to talk about specifically the Big Apocalypse because that's 1% point, 0.0001% of the Marvel Strike Force community. But we are going to talk to the people that already have Apocalypse and the people that are going to obtain Apocalypse soon. If you guys need any kind of advices for obtaining Apocalypse faster, make sure you join my live streams. We always talk about this kind of thing, resource management and so on. And we are already starting to prepare for Dark Dimension 6, free to play, how we are going to approach it, which are going to be the best characters, and which characters you should start investing on right now. Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna talk about arena defense. Once again, the only thing that holds, and we are going to take a look at the suggestions from Dogward, because this idea came out from Dogward channel, and unfortunately his video didn't got as much attention as it should have gotten. But we are going to check out which characters he recommends and which characters you can replace the one he's using with, and then you have to test it out and see how exactly it's working out for you and so on. So, as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. Make sure you smash that like button. Okay, let's get started. Let's talk about arena defense, and as you guys can see, I'm very successful on arena. I have 18,000 power cores, and I'm rank 2 with 5 attacks left. So I can also show you my payouts. It has been always top 10. You can see right here rank 6, then we have rank 2, then we have another rank 3, and it's within top 10, top 3. It depends if I'm paying attention. Usually when I'm live streaming, I completely forget to do the arena, and those are the days that I'm not top 3. Okay, so let's take a look at my defense. So this is what I'm using on offense. We have Kang, we have Morgan Le Fay, we have Apocalypse, we have Red Hulk, and we have Rogue. We talked about this in the past. This team that is most convenient for you to use. Of course, if you have a big Kang, that's going to help quite a lot. Now, speaking of defense, defense is a different story. On defense, I have mentioned in the past, a few weeks ago, that Dr. Doom is the game changer on arena, because it's a tic-tac bomb that you put in the middle of your arena team, and if your enemies are not careful, they are going to trigger his passive, going to get his ultimate ready, and then he's going to summon or Red Hulk or Apocalypse to smash your face. So this is something very, very problematic. And when you have a character like Absorbing Man, like Drax, like Red Guardian, where you can put together with Dr. Doom, that is going to force your opponents to use their Kang or their Red Hulk on Dr. Doom, and depending on the size, that might trigger right away the passive from Dr. Doom, and there you go, you lost the arena. Of course, this team is not unbeatable. No team is unbeatable, but let's talk a little bit about the psychology of the players. And once again, this is another thing that I talk a lot about in my live streams. It's how can you manipulate the psychology of humans in order to take advantage for yourself. So if you have a team that is hard to deal with, like this one, it's more likely for those players to ignore your team and attack someone else. So if you are on top 5 and you are like rank 3 or rank 4 or something like that, then the guy that is on 6 or 4 or 5 or 7 or on 2 or something like that, they are going to have to choose someone to attack, right? But if you are like if the guy is on 6 and you are on 2, they might attack the rank 3 because they already know that even that they can beat your team, it might be too annoying or it might take too much time, and therefore they decide to ignore your team. So that's an advantage that you have to take into consideration, is the psychology of the match. If the match is fast, people are going to prefer to go for the fast match. If the match is long and more complicated, then people are going to try to ignore that. Okay, so the team that we have on defense, we have Rogue, we have Red Hulk, we have Apocalypse, and we have Doctor Doom and Absorbing Man. I use Rogue and Red Hulk as a skirmisher. I have Apocalypse as a striker, because I have Red Hulk giving focus to Apocalypse. Then I have Doctor Doom also as a skirmisher, because this is the most convenient way of using Doctor Doom in 2023 for Cosmic Crucible and also for Alliance Wars. In terms of Absorbing Man, I have him as a fortifier, but this fortifier as a weight is specifically for Arena. In Cosmic Crucible, I use him as a striker. If you guys want to know why, make sure to check out my live streams where I do my Cosmic Crucible attacks. Usually we have like 100, 150 people joining in, so you'll find the chat very active and very fun. Okay, so this is the best position in my opinion. You want to have Red Hulk next to Rogue and Apocalypse, so they get the extra turn meter. And then you want to have Absorbing Man in a sandwich between Apocalypse and Doctor Doom. No homo, of course. It's just a metaphorical sandwich. But this will allow your enemies that are using Red Hulk, because Red Hulk is still one of the top meta characters in Arena. This is going to force your enemy Red Hulk to use the special or the basic on Absorbing Man, and that will trigger the passive from Apocalypse, and that will also trigger the passive from Doctor Doom. And you know, when that happens, it's gonna mess you up. Okay, so based on that, once again, it's going to trigger the passive of Apocalypse. He's going to get speed up, he's going to go a lot faster. If you have the baby Apocalypse, he's going to apply ability block to your characters. If you have the big boy Apocalypse, that's going to apply trauma to the enemies, and then your Doctor Doom goes and it's pretty much game over. So if you have a big boy Apocalypse, this is like almost impossible to beat a team. If you have the baby Apocalypse, you can still work around it, but like I said, it's very hard to deal. If you face this team, it takes between 3 minutes to 5 minutes to beat these. It's not easy. And if you don't have this type of team, you can beat it with like 1 minute and a half. I think we tested last time and it was like 1 minute and a half. So you are saving double or triple of your time if you just have the opposite of the defense. Okay, let's talk about Absorbing Man and the other characters that do the same job as Absorbing Man. So Absorbing Man is great because he's a pre-taunting tank, but specifically he gets extra positive effects. So on spawn he's going to get taunt and 3 deflects, so that's going to protect him from the attacks from Red Hulk. He's going to take significantly less damage, and it will also stop the Raider ISO 8 on Red Hulk. So if you have Red Hulk with Raider ISO 8, it's not going to work. You are not going to be able to apply vulnerabilities, and this is something that people forget. If there are any kind of deflects or minor deflects, your Raiders are not going to work, and this is why Raider sucks. Only on very specific characters you can use Raiders, like Shang-Chi, like X-Factor. So he's going to spawn with taunt and 3 deflects that will stop any kind of vulnerabilities on your characters. Then he has this very interesting buff that for each defense up he has, he's going to get 20% armor and 20% resistance. And this is very good because it scales, and depending on which characters you have together with him, this defense up can go up to 5. It doesn't say right here that there is a limit, and with Ultron you can push this up to 5, maybe up to 6, I don't remember exactly, but I have been able to push this very far, and especially because Absorbing Man is very slow, so depending on which team you have, you can stack up these defense ups quite a lot. And yes, for each defense up, even if you can get 5 or 6 to him, you're going to get additional 20% armor and 20% resistance. In Cosmic Crucible gets more resistance, that does not matter, and if he drops below the 50% health, he's going to lose the taunt and get a speed bar. Okay, so as you can see, this guy is very powerful. You can also copy positive effects from the enemies, and you'll get a defense up +1 plus a maximum of 3. But this maximum of 3 is just for this part of the ability. it's not for the other part of the abilities. So once again, it can get higher than 3 depending on the setup of your team. Okay, so one good thing right away with Absorbing Man is that Apocalypse, if you have a baby Apocalypse, is going to give defense up and safeguard and immunity to Absorbing Man, and is also going to heal him up. That will allow him to keep tanking. So this is going to be extremely important in case you are using the strategy. Then his other abilities, he can clear negative effects from himself and other allies and so on. This is not super important, but the Isolate, like I said, I use him as a striker in Cosmic Crucible, I use him as Fortifier in Arena because of the extra barrier and the minor defense up. It doesn't stack with the other defense ups, but the extra barrier allows you to survive a little bit higher. And if you are a whale, if you have a very big Absorbing Man, this is the best strategy for you, because when you get Absorbing Man to 6 red stars, 7 red stars and so on, it becomes so thick. It becomes super thick, very hard to deal with in Arena. This is one of the characters that I'm considering taking to 6 red stars just because of this ability. Okay, so that's Absorbing Man for you. He is the best option you can have right now. Once again, because of his high armor and resistance, especially the resistance, he can also survive the attacks from Morgan Le Fay. And now there are also some people using Loki to deal with these situations, but he can also deal with the abilities from Loki. So Absorbing Man is going to be the best option for you to sandwich, once again, metaphorically, no homo, between Apocalypse and Doctor Doom on Arena defense. Okay, let's talk about the other characters. Then we have a Red Guardian. He does the same thing. He has a pre-taunting character. He also has defense up, and he also gives speed up to skill military characters. This is a little bit inconvenient because you can lose the taunt faster than it's convenient for you. So keep that in mind. It's okay. Now the thing about Red Guardian is that he has the block chance, and for each skill character he's going to get more block chance and block amount, more health and so on. Is fine. The problem with the block chance is that once again the crits will not apply to them, which is fine against the Red Hulks with the Raider Isolate. All of that is fine and dandy, but this guy is super expensive to gear up, and right now we are on a skills shortage, and this guy requires 5 sets of mini uniques. 5 sets of mini uniques. Now on defense is not super great because he applies ability block, but it's going to be to a random character, and depending on the speed of him and how big your Red Guardian is, you might be able to apply the ability block to some character. But if you are thinking about that, I would take this guy to Skirmisher Isolate. Yes, the Fortifier will give him extra barrier and so on, but in terms of defense, because he has not only the armor but also the block chance, that will also reduce the damage of the enemies by 25%. It's a little bit luck based compared to Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man, because of the extra armor and resistance, is like directly damage reduction. With Red Guardian, it's not the same thing, it's not as good. A little bit luck based, but you also have the additional benefits of having an extra ability block, and this guy can also heal your team. It's not by a lot, it's okay. Once again, it all depends on you. Did you invest on Red Guardian in the past? Then you can use him. If you didn't invest, maybe you should be a little bit concerned, because once again we have big costs of skill gear right now, and this guy is super expensive, and he's not meta anywhere. He's literally not meta anywhere except the Arena defense. Is not meta in War, is not meta in Cosmic Crucible. In Cosmic Crucible you actually don't want him to be too big, or it doesn't really matter how big he is. So yeah, it's gonna be up to you if you can afford gearing him up, and after just sitting him in the bench, a blitz character or not. But yeah, in my opinion, he is the second best option in case your Absorbing Man is too small. And what does it mean too small? Someone asked me on my live stream. Absorbing Man being too small is that he's level 80, level 85, and is less than 5 yellow stars, 5 red stars. Maybe you can work with him at 4 yellow, 4 red if you already have level 95, unlikely. But if you have him at 5 yellow, 5 red, then he's gonna work out. Lower than that, I think is just too low. And you can compensate the extra levels for the lack of stars, but at the end of the day, you also want to get extra stars for the additional armor and the additional resistance. Okay, for the last option, we have Drax. And why are we talking about Drax? So Drax is another pre-taunting tank, and his kit is trash. It's pretty much trash. Drax was released like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. He has not get a decent update since then. And there are some rumors that Drax is going to get reworked very, very soon. At least Tauna has been baiting us, saying that Drax is going to get a rework together with Mantis. Tauna is so confident on his rumors that he took both Mantis and Drax to level 85 with Teal Gear. Oh my god, level 85 with Teal Gear. This is how confident he is with the rework of Drax coming next patch. But honestly, I don't believe it. If Nova is coming to the next patch, if we are going to get a rework on characters that are related with Nowhere, that's going to be Groot and Rocket and not Drax and Mantis. So I think Drax and Mantis, they will join another team with the original Star-Lord, and then you'll have two other characters in the future. But this guy right here, this is going to be maybe something that is going to happen in summer. I really doubt that Nova is going to have any kind of synergy with Drax and Mantis. Once again, in my opinion, from what I have seen from the movies and so on, it's more likely to be with Groot and with Rocket. But once again, like, if you believe in the Tauna rumors, if you are as confident as Tauna is, Drax is another option. I would not suggest you right now because the rework is going to be only 1 month ahead, if it happens, if it actually the rumors are true. But based on that, I don't know, it's up to you to decide if you want to get up in Drax. Maybe you like the kittens. Maybe the kittens on the pizza is going to scare your enemies away. And maybe like that, you're going to win on arena defense. But if you actually want to be serious about arena, it's time to get up. Your Absorbing Man is way better than people think. You are probably just using him with the wrong eyes away. Striker is definitely the best option for Cosmic Crucible. And the Fortifier is definitely the best option for arena. Once again, you want to set up like this. You want to sandwich. Once again, no homo between Doctor Doom and Apocalypse. Everything is metaphorically, but yeah, you can see from my power course that I've been winning non-stop. And once again, I went from having to attack 4 to 5 times per day on arena to just attack 1 or twice in arena to get great results. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.